Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am super excited to be here with you today to go over a concept that I talk about frequently, but I haven't really done a good video about it, and it's whether or not you need an infant car seat, okay? So we're gonna talk about that. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow this channel, share the video with someone if it makes sense. If you wanna buy anything that you see in this video, go ahead to my website, destinationbabykids.com. You can buy any of it directly from me. But again, this is not a product-specific video. This is just more or less talking about infant car seats, what they're used for, and if we wanted to skip using an infant car seat, how that would look and what that would look like. So let's launch right in, okay? So I have an example of an infant car seat right here installed into this vehicle seat. So in case you're curious, this is a Nuna Pippa Urban. So this is a baseless infant seat. And so I have several videos about car seats, but if you're unfamiliar, infant car seat means that it has a handle, and generally speaking, what you're buying with an infant car seat is convenience. So I'm gonna grab a little stroller and zoom out. We'll zoom back in. But we've got a little stroller here, and I'm gonna just show, if I recline this stroller seat back, so this is a Nuna Travel, and I take my Pippa Urban car seat, I'm gonna be able to take the baby directly out of the car, leave them in the car seat, and put them directly into the stroller, okay? So there's a couple of things that I wanna talk about when it comes to doing something like this. First of all, almost all strollers will accept some type of infant car seat. So you don't have to get necessarily brand with brand. But additionally, infant car seats are a little bit difficult sometimes as somebody in sales because they're a very short-lived duration of use product. Meaning that once kiddo outgrows the length of this car seat and the weight component of the car seat, they would need to move into a larger size seat. Now this is not inherently a bad thing, but it's just interesting that a lot of parents don't seem to understand that of all the things that they're buying, the infant car seat is the one area where if you wanted to save the money and just not have to deal with extra products that like are more disposable, then you could certainly skip an infant car seat and start with a larger size car seat from birth. So this is just to show you all. This is my infant, and we're gonna be coming back to this really quickly, but an infant car seat, people frequently think, and I'm gonna bring this infant car seat over to the camera to show. This infant car seat has a high amount of padding in it. Almost all the seats that we're gonna be showing in this demonstration will have very, very intense infant pillows in the car seat. And so you're like, what are you talking about? That's this pad set that's in there. When we remove this pad set, it's usually for a kid after around 11 pounds. Every car seat's different. You're gonna need to consult your manual. But the reason why that padding is in there, I'm gonna get my little baby again, is because what we're looking for with a new baby is what we don't want is their body in a V shape and their head coming down and their chin touching their chest, okay? This would cut off their airway, so they wouldn't be able to breathe. So like in a car seat, which will hold their body in a V shape, those pillows will hoist this component of their body more upright and giving a smaller child that lift that opens up that airway, okay? Once kids are past about like, let's say 6 months or so, developmentally, they would generally have enough head and neck strength and control where this will not matter. So it matters a great deal for the beginning of the baby's life, but then once they get that head and neck control, this is not going to be an issue that we have to worry about anymore. You'll see your kid fall asleep like that and you'll be like, oh my God. But if they're older, again, not the same type of concern that we have for kiddos 6 months and under, okay? So that's something to be aware of there. Now, the reason why we're talking about all of this is that if I grab this convertible seat, let me get this stroller out of the way. If I were to take this convertible seat, so what is a convertible seat? Convertible seat means it converts from being a backward-facing car seat to a forward-facing car seat. If you look at this seat here, and this is a Peg Perego Kinetic, this is an awesome car seat. This has very intense amounts of cushioning. It actually has what's called a tri-stage cushion. So it's a 3-part body cushion. Parts 1 and 2 are intended to be used for kiddos under 14 pounds. And then there's an additional cushion on here that's only intended to be used for kids through 22 pounds. So you only use this intense cushion set when the car seat is rear facing, and I'd also argue while they're still extremely little. So again, if we wanted to start, there we go, with this size from birth, we're gonna be able to do that, and I'm gonna show you how that would look set up in a car. So when this guy goes in, there were specific things that I just wanted to point out. I'm gonna do a lower anchor installation. Car seats install two different ways. They install with lower anchors, or you can use a seatbelt. With this car seat, just for this installation here in the store, quickly, we're just gonna use the lower anchor. I was reading online that some people find the lower anchors hard to tighten. There is a trick, and I'm gonna show you for this specific car seat. This car seat also has an anti-rebound bar, so this is a really nice additional high-quality safety feature. Not every car seat comes with this, and this is a huge reason why I wanted to show this one. This is an awesome seat for the price. It's made in Italy. It's $350. It goes backwards up to 45 pounds and then forward facing to 65 pounds. So easily can do this rear facing through age 2 and probably beyond. And then for older kiddo, it will be a forward facing car seat. So that infant car seat that I showed at the very beginning of the video, I should have been a little clearer. That infant car seat will only hold 22 pounds and 29 inches. So this goes up to 49 inches and 65 pounds. That's a huge difference. So why does this matter? If that seat costs, let's say, $500, that infant seat, and this seat costs $350, and I can use this seat for like 4 or 5, 6 years, whereas that other seat I have to discontinue using after 1 year, plus then I'll still have to go and buy a seat like this. Maybe for some customers, it just makes sense to start right away with the larger size seat. So let's go back to that head tilt conversation, because this is something that frequently I hear from customers that they worry about with this size seat, and one of the pillow pieces fell out, so I'm gonna grab it really fast just to show you. This is like one of those pieces I was talking about. This is gonna go behind this baby's head, but this is why, like, I love this style of seat. If we're gonna do a convertible seat from birth, it's nice that it has a really intense body pillow, and that's gonna hoist that little kid's body up. So that's, these two pieces come out, I think, after 14 pounds, and then the lower body piece here comes out after 22 pounds. So if we take those out, obviously this child is gonna be drowning in the seat, and they would have head tilt. As long as we use this properly, and we install the seat properly, and I will touch on that once I get this baby in here, you won't have a head tilt issue. And that's what we're looking for. But we'd be looking for that with an infant seat too. Most infant seats have level guidelines on them, like level bubbles, or they have like what you see with this seat here. On the side of this seat, there's a blue line that reads, "This line must be level with ground when installing." So what that means is they want to make sure that the seat is level when you're installing it for a new baby. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my newborn in here, because the seat starts as little as 5 pounds, which is very encouraging. I don't know what baby's coming home from the hospital smaller than that. But again, just something to be aware of. It's still a 5-point harness, which is what you would get with that other style of car seat. And the trick with installing this one is going to be, there's actually holes on the interior of the seat here where my fingers can come through. I'm able to grab my latch strap and pull it through this hole. It will take a second, but it'll come up through. And now when I'm pulling to tighten this in, I'm pulling toward myself instead of pulling away from the seat, which will make this installation significantly tighter and easier for me to install. So there's just some design features about this that are really incredible for the price, for the $350. Now, on this installation right here, I'm actually able to get my hand underneath here. I want to make sure that the side of the seat is level. And so it reads, check that this line is leveled with the ground when used in rear-facing mode. And that is this line right here. So if I step back from the seat and I look at it, that's quite level. but I do have a little bit of gap underneath the seat. If you've ever heard about car seats saying, hey, you can use a pool noodle underneath the car seat for a rear-facing installation, the reason why is for a new little baby to make sure that that seat is perfectly reclined. So we could reinstall this. We would cut this to size. I could shove it underneath here just so that the seat would have more stability for that specific 0 to 6 month range. Beyond that, we could remove it and install the seat. It could sit slightly more upright and it wouldn't be the end of the world. But that rear-facing level line is going to be important for a child that doesn't have head and neck control yet. So that's something we really want to hammer home. Now this baby sitting in here is not going to have chin to chest. It's the same as with the infant seat. Because that body pillow is hoisting them up properly, that's going to enable kiddo to sit in here no problem. And then, as we mentioned, once they get larger, pieces will come out, seats fully adjustable. So, sorry baby, I'm going to toss you into the crib. But these seats are great because then when we go forward facing, all the stuff that was on here is going to tuck back on the underneath of the seat, just goes away. And when it goes in a car forward facing, without that body pillow sitting in here, this will accommodate a much larger body. And as you can see here, we're able to raise that headrest up to accommodate a larger body as they grow longer. So it's very exciting to be able to have options for people that don't require like using an infant car seat. Now that being said, it would also be important for your stroller then to work for a new baby out of the box. And if you're like, what are you talking about? Well, that first stroller that I showed, which is super lightweight, which is very useful for this demonstration, this recline on this Nuna Travel is not deep enough for a newborn. It's too upright, okay? So when you're buying a stroller, especially if your intention is to use it without an infant car seat, you're gonna wanna make sure that directly out of the box, the recline would be deep enough to support a new baby. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and take another Peg Perego product. This is the Vivace stroller, and I will open it up, and I'm gonna recline it. And I'm not sure if we can see here so clearly, but if I zoom out a little bit, this will illustrate this is flat enough for a newborn. So that baby that was in the car seat, instead of lifting it up and setting them directly in the seat, we're gonna remove baby from the car seat and put them directly into the stroller seat, laying flat. So while the other style has the convenience of dropping it on and off the stroller frame without waking the baby up, keep in mind, at some point when they grow out of that infant seat and you have a 1-year-old, you will have to take them physically out of the car seat and put them into the stroller seat at that point. So you will be retraining them at some point to get over the fact that they've been awoken. And for some people, training from a new baby versus a 1-year-old might feel easier or make more sense for their lifestyle. There isn't a right or wrong answer. We just wanted to make people aware that these are things that you're able to do. Now, if you're thinking that this is only an exclusively Peg Perego video, you would be wrong. I do love Peg, but just as like a point of reference, my best selling car seat right now for new babies that is a convertible seat, meaning non-infant seat, is one from a brand called Baby Arc. And so I'm just gonna install that really quickly right now. That's all set up. And before Baby Arc yells at me because they don't like my videos very much, they don't yell at me, they just say it's not my best work. I'm gonna point out, I've installed my Baby Arc base, and this is kind of like an infant seat because it does work with the base, but my base is floating, so it's not actually touching the vehicle seat on this front piece. There's a green piece that lets me know that it's all attached properly, and then the actual seat unit will go on to there, facing either backward or forward, depending on how old kiddo is and how you want to use the seat. So They also have a version of this seat that has an electronic base that will connect and talk to your phone. I'm just into the safety of the regular one. You get rigid latch, stability load leg, and an anti-rebound bar, as well as really intense infant pillow and head pillow. So that is all included in the purchase price with your baby ark. And again, we can use it rear facing, I think it's to 50 or 55 pounds, and then forward facing up to 65. But this car seat would also present the same issue where when you use it, you're going to want to make sure that whatever stroller you get, you're either buying the additional newborn pieces or the stroller would be able to recline deeply enough for a newborn. So I'm showing another stroller right now. This is the Bumble Ride Era, and this is a very cool stroller. This one's super all-terrain, and this one has a deep enough recline for a newborn. No problem without buying any additional stuff. Of course, they sell other stuff, but you don't need to buy other stuff. So, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I just kind of wanted to quickly cover that information for you so you could understand that of all the things that you're gonna be buying, the infant seat just might be overkill, or maybe isn't something that you even want to have to learn, because you'd have to learn your larger seat later on. And this is something I tell a lot of my customers too. You can always start by buying a convertible seat, and if you're really bummed out about it and it's not working out for your lifestyle, go ahead and go back and buy the infant seat at that point, right? Because you'll always need a convertible down the road. You're never gonna be able to avoid that purchase, but you could certainly avoid the infant seat purchase. So just different ways to problem solve. I hope this was helpful and made a little bit of sense for you, my fabulous viewing audience. Love and care about you so much. And we look forward to seeing you at the ABC show coming up here. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're gonna have so many videos dropping about lots of products, probably even stuff I don't sell. Just reviewing it, but whatever. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.